we're alive.
Yes.
So about SmackDown.
About SmackDown. Yeah. Sorry about that.
You know what? I was sick, but to be fair,
It's all his fault.
I really want to blame it on you, the viewers. Yeah, I'm talking to you out there in viewerland. What's with this single-digit viewership stuff?
Yeah, look, I know last week wasn't exactly the best week for wrestling, and I'll admit that myself, but y'all really don't like Raw, do you?
Nope.
I mean, granted,
Neither do we.
Neither do we, no. But yikes, a little harsh there. But yeah, we do apologize for SmackDown. He was sick, so
Quick recap. Really crappy show.
Quick recap. Dog food. Next.
Congratulations, Braun. One good match.
Otis.
Yes. Otis,
My
congratulations on getting a date secured.
There was hope for us all.
Oh, man, we just got to get more weight.
Steaks and weights, big boy. Steaks and weights.
Steaks and weights. So I actually have my match of the night and MVP candidates from that episode. If you'd like to go ahead and give us yours as well.
I don't. Yikes! We don't go over this before the show, and
Well, of course not.
I deleted my notes. So
Well, okay. Well, then I'll just go ahead and give mine, and you do you, boo boo. So match of the night is going to be the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. That was the Miz and Morrison.
Sure.
Lucha Drag, yeah.
Sure.
And the MVP, Braun Strowman.
Sure.
Congrats, Braun. You get another vote.
Sure. I don't care.
So for those of you who do not know us, and if for some reason you stumbled upon this video and you're 2 minutes and some odd seconds into this video and you don't know who we are, sorry. My name is Nick Cavalli.
My name is Marcus White.
And we welcome you to the Revolution.
And, yeah, this was a mistake.
Yeah, so
We didn't plan this, I swear.
Marcus and I finally agree on someone that we both extremely like. And we just happened to buy a shirt at the same time.
Yeah.
Get it shipped at the same time and wear it
It's uncomfortable.
at the same time.
I don't like looking like you. It's just weird.
There's still about a million differences between you and I, but
Yeah, I'm cuter.
okay. So the Limitless Legion in full effect here tonight.
Yes.
And we are going to be reviewing Monday Night Raw from February 3rd, 2020.
Live on in Salt Lake City, Utah, who had to brave hell and fire and fury and all the
Brimstone and death and the Grim Reaper and the apocalypse itself. And
yeah.
look, Salt Lake City was hit with a major blizzard. Schools closed in the area for the first time in decades.
I say major blizzard. Us Michiganders, that's like nothing. It was like 5 inches.
Yeah, it was like I'd say 5 to 7 inches from what we could see.
And the way the Raw commentary team made that sound, it was like. Yeah. It's like, like when you hear one of your grandparents say back in my day I had to climb a mountain to get to school. Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, I had to walk uphill both ways, barefoot in the snow.
Yeah, it was that. So, speaking of things I don't like, this episode of Raw. Look, I know that I've been very critical of that last third hour of Raw and talking about how you're so close in those 2 hours, man, but...
Hey, they got the third hour right this time.
I'm sorry. Go back. I'll never critique you again. Because this was bad. I mean, if they listened, they only heard about the third hour part and got that and then everything else. The only bright spot is that, with Raw getting better each week, NXT, AEW, and SmackDown have been getting worse. So maybe now that Raw was bad, the other two shows will be good. That's my only hope.
I can't do another bad Wednesday.
I can't. No, that was depressing.
I finish a bad Raw tonight, and I just look at Marcus and go, why do we do this? We finish a bad Wednesday, and I look at him, and I'm like, no, genuinely, why do we do this? Because this is what we love. This is what we're passionate about on Wednesdays. Monday, Friday, and we're here to entertain you guys, more or less.
So let's kick things off with the Viper.
Randall Keith.
And he comes out after a video package showing him beating down his former best friend, Edge.
You think you know me?
And loud boos for Mr. Randall Keith. Side note, Salt Lake City, thank you for braving the blizzard and all that jazz to come out to Raw this evening, but y'all could have done better.
It could have been a little hotter.
Could have been a little hotter. You're not the worst crowd.
No, yeah, I've heard a lot worse.
Yeah, you're not Albuquerque, but
hey now, don't hate on the ABQ.
But yeah, not the best, not the worst, so it's whatever. But yeah, Mr. Randall Keith comes out to the ring, kind of walks around a little bit.
He's gone full Viper again.
Yeah,
really.
He's like hesitating to get in the ring. He gets in, kind of paces around it, gets on top of the turnbuckle.
I believe that I owe you all an explanation for what happened.
Lots of boos, you suck chants. Puts the mic back up, puts it back down, does that a couple more times, keeps starting and stopping.
I can't do this.
And then he leaves. Bye, Randy.
I don't hate it. It's interesting. It builds depth of character, but
maybe Randy just decided, I don't want to cut a promo in Salt Lake City.
I think what happened was he ran out of time. That's like they talk about with that Roman promo after WrestleMania. Everybody thought that he had so much to say, and he had.
This is my yard now.
And that's it. That's it. That's all it is.
Yep. Cool. So next, look again. So I know. Look, the solution to that third hour was not moving Lana and listen to the first
hour of Raw.
That is not how you fix Raw.
So we get Lana versus Liv Morgan
again,
because this is gonna build the feud.
By the way,
like that.
There's a theme for this Monday night. See if you can spot it. But yeah, Lana versus Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan comes out to Lana's like stage and everything, the lighting, and they never fix it.
Yeah, Raw, you really need to get your stuff together, dude.
Yeah, it was like the production tonight was bad.
Wait a minute, how did we skip this? The entranceway just disappeared.
I mean, I think it was gone last week, too, wasn't it?
Maybe I'm not paying attention enough, but the thing in the middle of the stage
where
little,
people
walk out of,
it's just gone. People are just walking around.
They walk around the giant skate ramp now. Why? What do you... Like, you had a really bad stage, and you just made it worse. You just made it worse. You know what you should do? Is just cut a hole in the middle of it.
Or we just don't have a skate ramp as a stage.
Or make sure that every single one of them is trained in skateboarding or rollerblading, and they all just acid drop from the top of the stage.
Pull a Darby Allin, come out on a skateboard every week.
Skating to the ring from Seattle, Washington.
And speaking of kind of more that punk rock scene, because Liv Morgan, of course, wins with a flatliner in about a minute or so, and then Ruby Riott is back.
And oh my god, Ruby's back. My best friend is back. This is going to be so great.
Oh, it's the Riott Squad. Yay.
Because no one needs Sarah Logan.
No, we really don't.
That's true.
And just as we're getting good vibes. Oh my god, my bestie, she's back. And nope, Ruby Riott attacks Liv Morgan.
Okay. So, my complaint is... I really just wanted to see both of them beat the hell out of Lana.
At the very least, have Ruby Riott attack Liv, then Lana.
My happiness coming from this, sprouting from this. Maybe Liv Morgan's not in a Lana feud anymore? Maybe she'll feud with Ruby Riott now?
I hope so.
That would be a really good feud for you down the line.
Or they're going to do what WWE always does, and they're going to shove Lana and Ruby Riott together in some weird, awkward stable, and it's going to be those two versus Liv now.
You know what? I told you what's going to happen. Love triangle.
Oh, God. I don't need that.
No one needs that.
So,
but hey, welcome back, Ruby. We're happy for
I'm glad to have Ruby back. If it means less Lana matches, then please, welcome back. Then the lights. I forgot to mention too, by the way. The lights go down and come back on after the Ruby Riot attack, and then Lana attacks Liv Morgan. Poor Liv, she just can't catch a break, can she?
Well, you only live once.
Yep. And fortunately, my life is spent watching things like Mojo and Riddick Moss. And they come out, and because Mojo's having a match versus old Mr. McIntyre.
Okay. First things first. I'm the realist. Sorry. It's a requirement of my job.
Pop culture reference.
That's what I do, man. I'm the new Mauro Ranallo. Mojo, weren't you literally just saying like a week ago that you're going to be a fighting champion? You will defend this title. And then
this
is a non-title match.
Will not
for the
be
24/7 championship?
Yep.
That's not a thing. It shouldn't be. That's not how the hardcore title worked.
Yeah, apparently you can just decide.
Yeah, this is a non-title match.
Yeah. I mean, I know they've done that in the past with R-Truth, but I thought it was dumb then. I think it's dumb now. I don't know. So, Drew McIntyre comes out, and he, of course, thanks Salt Lake for fighting through the blizzard to be there. That was the first note of.
I'm going to be honest with you. The first time I heard it, it was, thank you, Salt Lake, for fighting so hard for this lizard to be here. And I was very confused. I get that Drew is a very thick accent, but I didn't think it was that thick.
Yeah.
Thank you for fighting so hard for this lizard to be here.
Better than Becky used to be.
That's true, man.
So he looks at Mojo and goes, "Hey Mojo, so you know, as soon as I put this mic down, I'm gonna Claymore your head off
in 3 seconds."
In 3 seconds. Then he starts going on about Brock Lesnar. Says that Brock is apprehensive, and he's, I'm just as big, just as fast as Brock Lesnar, but the difference is my Claymore is bigger. No, he didn't say that. He did say, though, that he's got the Claymore
as a secret weapon.
Yes.
For the sexy Scotsman.
Yikes. He then, he gets startled by Mojo Rawley. Oh, Mojo,
I forgot you were there.
I forgot you were there. Remember, 3 seconds. He turns around. Ref rings the bell. Claymore! In under 3 seconds for the win. Yikers. If you want to push Mojo as like this fighting champion and this big heel, don't have him get squashed to Drew McIntyre in under 3 seconds. And what, Riddick Moss, again I ask, what is your due? Not only did you allow this, but then after the match, you just kind of waited for Drew to roll out before you get in.
He really looked like the San Francisco 49ers offensive line.
Woo!
I'm just saying, Jimmy G, I'm sorry. you deserve better. But yeah, I mean, Riddick, what are you doing, bro? I mean, you're just hanging out outside the ring, holding the title for
Well, if
Mojo?
Think about it like this. An idea popped in my head. Maybe if Mojo, keeps losing matches in, stunning fashion and, keeps getting his title taken by R-Truth, maybe eventually he'll pull an Andrew Luck and retire.
Please. Look, you know what I'm thinking is going to happen? One of these times, Riddick Moss, his offensive lineman, is going to be there, defending him. He's going to get an absolute hind wrecked by Brock Lesnar or something, and Riddick Moss is going to pin him for the 24/7 championship.
Oh, goodness. I'll take it, but, thanks. So, we then get a Charlie Caruso interview with Buddy Murphy and AOP. AOP starts to talk, but he goes, "No, guys, I got this." He says that we're on the right side of history. They're focusing on their match tonight, and then the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, comes out, says, "Guys, go prepare for your match. This is important. I got this." And then he goes talk about how he's already beaten Brock twice for the title. So he's going to do it again.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, apparently there's a triple threat match at the end of the night, and it's for the number one contenders. For the world title, but at Super Showdown, and it's Seth, Ricochet, and Bobby Lashley. Bob. Yep. And Bob. Which, of course, confuses me because I'm like,
when did any of you become...
When did y'all learn this?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Rollins, I guess, has won most of his recent matches.
What has Ricochet done except get squashed every week?
But he's Ricochet.
And then what has Bobby Lashley
He's
done
beat
except
Rusev quite a few
beat
times.
the same person over and over again, who also is not in contention for any title?
They're all in contention for the 24/7 championship.
Welcome to Raw! So, for those of you that have any critique about the way AEW does their ranking system,
here you go!
There you go!
Yeah, so, this Raw would have been fine if it was a comedy show from a British indie group.
Yes. But for, your longest...
The flagship show.
Your longest running weekly episodic... Your flagship show, the A show, as some would describe it, for WWE, this is what you reel out there and go...
The house that Vince McMahon built.
For 3 hours this week, this is what you got for it?
That's good shit.
No, it is not. And do better, please.
What? I'm going to have a nervous breakdown trying to do this on a weekly basis and having to continually talk about how god-awful Raw and SmackDown are. Like...
I mean, the only thing that keeps me going is the flashes of okay we've seen every once in a while. Like
this is the thing. Look. Had I been sick as a dog like I was Friday night on Wednesday night, I'd have braved it. Because it's Wednesday. Because it's good wrestling. It was SmackDown. I was like, I'm sick.
And it's not like we didn't do our jobs. I watched SmackDown. He watched SmackDown. We both took notes. I had my notes.
I deleted them as well. I just left the match of the night and the MVP because I didn't care.
But I mean, all you need to know is dog food. So yeah.
The winner of the main event tonight
is gonna eat dog food.
The winner's gonna eat dog food?
The loser, excuse me. He's gonna eat dog food.
You got a little overexcited about that dog food there.
Well, come on. They were like stirring it throughout the entire episode and making comments about it.
This is homemade dog food here. Welcome to the Uso Bake Shop.
I mean, you got the big dog running around his yard with his dog food. I mean, it's a whole theme.
Roman, why do you exist?
Hit the mic there.
Why could you not be the Roman Reigns from NXT? If any of you have never seen any of Roman Reigns' early heel work on NXT, go watch it. It's great.
And here's my thing. If one of the brighter spots from SmackDown, I thought, was Roman Reigns. He wasn't bad. He wasn't the problem last week. It was what he was doing.
Yeah.
It's what he was doing. It wasn't the promo he cut.
It's the gimmick.
Yeah.
It's the gimmick.
It is. Because you're starting to see, especially after the whole, leukemia thing, and he's come back, and you're starting to see more of his personality in his character now. I mean, he's not centering himself as much. He sounds way less scripted. So, I mean... Roman is not the problem for me right now. It's what you're having him do.
Yes. And
shocking as that might be for a lot of the IWC, I don't hate Roman Reigns.
All right, full disclosure, and this is going to probably lose us all of our supporters. I've never disliked Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
As a wrestler.
Yes.
His character, garbage.
Yes.
His mic skills, at times,
bad.
Garbage.
Yeah.
As a wrestler, He's
never been bad. He's never been a bad wrestler.
I mean, has he been pushed to the moon and back? Yeah.
But
so was John Cena, he's one of my favorite all-time wrestlers.
Has he had some bad matches? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, remember when he used to win with the Superman punch?
Good times. Good times. That's my favorite. I miss that so much.
But we're kind of getting off track here. That's how bad Raw is that we need to talk about everything else because we just don't want to talk about this show.
This is the funny thing. Usually we run this like a recap show. we're actually kind of like a podcast right now because we're just talking about random stuff off the top of our heads because that's how bad what we watched was.
Raw is, yes. And since clearly none of you care about Monday Night Raw,
which can we blame you?
Yeah, so let's talk about some random stuff. But getting back to that Seth Rollins promo, says that Drew McIntyre needs to get ready to face him at WrestleMania. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, we looked over this because I was lost and I need to double check and make sure. Isn't there another pay-per-view before WrestleMania?
Yep, we still have to get through Elimination Chamber.
And isn't that normally for the title?
Almost always.
Almost always.
Or number one contender. So what's probably going to happen is the WWE Championship is going to be on the line because that's the one McIntyre has chosen to challenge for.
Yep.
And the other one will probably be a number one contenders match. Either that or we get the most terrifying thing ever, which is Fiend in the Elimination Chamber.
Is that more terrifying than Brock in the Elimination Chamber? I need to see that. I can see either one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be good with either of those.
Yeah.
You know, wow. That pay-per-view is going to be really good.
Yeah. Can we
No.
Can we?
No, I'm giving myself expectations.
Hey, you still got to get through, Super Showdown before we start feeling any type of happiness.
TakeOver Portland, Super Showdown, and then Revolution. Finally, we get an AEW pay-per-view to break up the string of absolute bullocks WWE pay-per-views.
Hey now, TakeOver,
Worlds Collide. Worlds Collide is great.
And Rumble wasn't that bad either. It wasn't that bad. So, yeah, we get on now to something I actually like, and that's surprising, I know. Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders versus Buddy Murphy and AOP.
In an elimination 6-man tag team match. The writing's on the walls, kids. The writing is on... I took out a Sharpie. I drew on the walls. The writing is there. Like...
Not like they would know. Again, they didn't see Raw last week, and they... So...
You know what? If y'all did watch Raw last week and did not watch our podcast, you wasted 2.5 hours of your life because you could have just spent 30 minutes watching our podcast about how god-awful Raw was.
So...
You waste time.
So I'm not going to say if you missed, most of you missed, last week, Kevin Owens 1v2'd.
And this week, Kevin Owens is in a 3-on-3 elimination match. What could possibly go wrong?
So, out the gate, pretty good match. I mean, I love the Viking Raiders. Ivar with the amazing hot tags. And then, he goes bye-bye.
Both of Kevin Owens' partners are eliminated within a matter of 5 seconds.
So, Ivar goes for, like, a weird shoulder tackle thing, and... drives himself into the LED board. And then Eric on the outside, while the refs focused on Ivar, gets curb stomped by the Monday Night Messiah, thrown back in the ring, eliminated by Mr. Buddy Murphy. And just like that, 1v3.
Wait a minute. Kevin Owens against the odds. I feel like I've seen this one before.
Just maybe.
Was this a rerun of Raw?
It feels like it. I even forgot to mention, we started Raw again with a Rumble recap. Isn't that what we did all?
Sure the Rumble wasn't yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I must have missed that. I mean...
I don't know, man. It's this whole Raw makes me absolutely sick.
So... I do, again, this was one of the few spots, I mean, even if it was a rerun from last week, I love Kevin Owens, so I enjoy watching him do KO things, and he eliminates Buddy Murphy with a pop-up powerbomb. We're still doing that? That's still a thing, KO?
I guess so.
I mean, I forgot you had that as a finisher. He beats him. He eliminates Buddy Murphy, and then he eliminates Akam with a stunner, and just like that, it's 1v1. Kevin Owens versus Razor of the Authors of Pain. And you knew how this was going to go, right? And for those of you that don't know, Razor is a very large man. He's a big boy. And he's one of the of the two members of AOP, he's the one that gets pushed the most when they're in tag team matches, or when they were in tag team matches. He was the one that would get the quote unquote hot tag, and he'd come in and do all the heavy lifting. He's the big boy of the group, and they're both big men, but he's a big man. And yeah, KO had no chance here. Razor easily gets the victory. But what was kind of cool was after the match, they kind of give Kevin Owens his moment in the ring. He got a standing O from the crowd. So that was kind of nice, you know. Good job for Kevin Owens. Pulling a lot these last couple weeks. He's been doing a lot for Raw.
Absolutely. And it's not that he's going unnoticed, but I feel like he should have been in that triple threat match tonight.
Oh, definitely should.
That's the kind of thing where I look at it and I go, him or Ricochet? Or Bobby Lashley even. Anyways.
Speaking of Ricochet, he gets an interview backstage. I mean, Ricochet's never been great on the mic, and this kind of showcases that. All I got from this is he basically just says, "Oh, what does this match mean for me tonight? It means everything." I mean, he said a little bit more, but that kind of boils it down. And then it's the weekly Aleister Black versus Jobber match. Except
the Jobber is Eric Young.
Welcome back, Eric Young. You know Eric Young,
I guess.
Former leader of Sanity, former TNA World Champion. That Eric Young, yeah, he loses this match in about a minute and a half, and it was so bad that it was trending. It was trending. That's how bad it was that people are upset.
I'm pissed for you, Eric. You're one hell of a competitor inside the ring, and I've seen you do your stuff in NXT, and I mean I assume you've seen him in TNA. I didn't watch that trash, but no. So I genuinely I feel bad for you, dude. Like this company's effing you over. You need to find an alternative. Speaking of, before we move on, let's go ahead and hit another sidebar real quick. Shall we?
We shall.
I mean, it's a Raw review.
Might as well.
It has been revealed that Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson have told WWE that they can shove it, have told WWE that they will not fight again for them, and have immediately requested their release, which would be granted by the end of their contract in the coming months. So they are going to be hitting the free agent market. Thank the Lord.
It's about time, really. I mean, I couldn't believe they signed that last extension, to be real with you.
So to see them hit the market, and it sounds like Matt Hardy's going to be hitting the open market pretty soon.
Sounds like Sasha Banks is fighting hard to get out of her contract.
Although she seemed to be loving that pizza
party. Yeah, I was going to say
Fox.
that Super Bowl pizza party, she was having a good old time with Roman.
But I genuinely think there's no doubt the Revival wind up in AEW. They have been on their radar since day one. And Matt Hardy has basically said that's where I want to go if they'll have me. So keep tuned on that.
Yeah.
And we should have a couple debuts within the next 3 weeks.
Can't wait.
So back to this garbage.
Well, actually, this part, after the horribleness of jobbing out Eric Young, actually, I did like. It was the Aleister Black promo. I liked kind of the angle he was going for, talking about how when you're young, you're taught that you can be anything when you grow up. And he says that's just not true. I like to go for the truth. He says people who should choose who they want to be because it drives relentless competition. And then he goes on to talk about how he's going to run through the Monday Night Raw roster, and there's going to be no light left. The entire roster of Monday Night Raw will fade to black. Pretty alright promo.
Yeah, it was a pretty good promo.
I liked it. And then this is what I'm sure Vince is calling the Latino Hour.
Oh, Jesus.
Ladies
and gentlemen, Humberto
Carrillo! So, yeah, if you haven't noticed from the last couple of Monday Night Raws, it seems like there's one segment of the show where WWE features their Latino superstars. Just that one part of the show. And then that's it.
They don't exist outside of it.
And they all fight each other.
Yep.
And then that's it.
So, Humberto comes out. He has a match scheduled with someone of Zelina Vega's choosing.
So Miss Vega comes out, and whoa, what's that theme music?
That would be Angel Garza from NXT.
His cousin!
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. At no point do I ever recall anybody mentioning their relationship. But
I do actually, and it caught me after I started watching the matches, that I do remember it was some time on NXT last week, I believe, or a couple weeks ago, when Angel Garza was, it might have actually been Worlds Collide, when Angel Garza was in the match, and I think I heard it was just an off-color note talking about how Angel Garza was the cousin of Humberto Carrillo, but he's nothing like him.
Okay.
It was like an off, like,
that wouldn't shock me.
It was like
that would also
one
be
note.
foreshadowing too.
Yeah, it was
Good
one
job, WWE.
Yeah, but
Bad job, Nick.
Had you not been paying attention, you wouldn't have noticed it. Like, it was very like.
I mean, I was paying attention, but I didn't. I look. Yeah, mad props to you. Yeah. Props to you for catching that.
Yeah. So Angel Garza is the cousin of Humberto Carrillo, so it's like the family fighting family, and Zelina Vega goes on this little weird promo, basically patting herself on the back for getting Angel Garza. And I've said it every time I see him. I love Angel Garza. I definitely get huge Eddie vibes from him. He's got that charisma, man. He's great in the ring. I love this guy.
Well, the funny thing is, Humberto Carrillo reminds me a lot of Ray. Those two guys remind me of young Eddie, young Ray.
Yeah. So Angel Garza gets in the ring, basically just calls Humberto Carrillo a disgrace, not only to the people, but also not only to his family, but to the Latino people around the world. Humberto grabs the microphone, starts to cut a promo in Spanish, and then a smack from Miss Zelina Vega, and boys, poor Humberto, because he gets hit with a wing clipper, and tell me if you haven't seen this before. Matt gets rolled up on the outside of the ring.
No.
Zelina is calling her spot, gets Angel Garza to hit the hammerlock DDT on Humberto, but right before...
Boyka, boyka!
Here comes Rey Mysterio to save the day. So we thought. Because, no. Angel does, what Zelina Vega tells him to do. Again, kind of a rehash. Gets Rey Mysterio on the outside of the ring. By the way, this was a decent match. These two didn't have great chemistry in the ring, but it's probably the first time they've locked up. But
to be fair, I'd do anything she tells me to, and not in like a sick way, in like a I'm terrified of her way.
Yeah, she's a scary lady.
She's a scary woman.
Yeah. So gets Rey Mysterio on the outside of the ring. Mind you, the match is still going, by the way, and hits Rey Mysterio with a hammerlock DDT to the concrete. Bell rings. Match over? Didn't know that was a DQ.
So you can hit a DDT onto the steel steps.
Mm-hmm. You can hit it on the announce table.
In theory, you could hit it on a chair.
In theory, you could hit it on the ramp.
But not on the exposed concrete.
Is it the same rule as exposing the turnbuckle?
Because it's protective padding?
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Yeah, but you should be disqualified just for the motion of it.
You don't get DQ'd for moving the turnbuckle pad. You just get you get a strong talking to. That's all you get.
Yeah,
So I mean, I guess that's the reason why.
Yeah.
But maybe if you clarified your rules, WWE, and if you didn't change them every so often, we wouldn't be sitting here going, "Hey."
You know what WWE needs to do for us fans? Sell a rule book.
Please do.
Sell an official WWE rule book. And you know what? You can sell an updated version every 3 months. We'll probably buy it every 3 months.
I guess here's the problem, too. WWE has this thing where they're like, they've been around for so long, they just kind of assume if you don't know, you know, like, too bad.
Yeah,
like
there's so many rules that are just so complex.
They just kind of, like, unless it's something like an Elimination Chamber or a Rumble match, they just kind of assume you know what's going on.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Not everyone knows some of the more obscure rules. I mean, there are people who don't know that you can't punch with a closed fist.
Exactly.
There are people, I mean, you want to talk about an obscure rule. It's never called. It's disqualification to hit a low bridge on the ropes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the things like that where I give AEW credit because while I'm not...
Ref's discretion?
No. Actually, where I was going was that, I mean, regardless of your opinions of Jim Ross recently, he still does a very good job of breaking down matches and explaining things. Like, every time there's a match, whether it's new rules or just a regular match with regular old rules, JR does a very good job of breaking things down and telling you how things go. I mean, if someone does something that's illegal and the ref throws it out or the ref doesn't see it, JR will explain why that should have been a disqualification or why that is a DQ. Like, he always explains things. You're never sitting there wondering what's going on because they tell you. Which is, on WWE, the announcers are talking about God knows what. Arguing about, I don't know, fish or something. I don't even know. Like, it's just the most random thing. If
wishes were fishes, the whole world would be an ocean.
Yeah, it's just the most random things on commentary. Again, why I give Mauro Ranallo props in NXT, because at least he's talking about what's happening in the ring. But meanwhile, on Raw and SmackDown, I don't know what's happening. And if you're not a wrestling fan, you don't know. And you'd probably like to be told what's going on, and you just never do. So, apparently, yeah, that's a DQ. So, Ray wins, but he's probably going to be out for a little bit, so bye-bye, Ray.
Yep.
And out comes the Queen. By the way, 2 weeks in a row that Charlotte has followed the Latino hour of Raw.
This is something that I thought was going to be really cringy and actually turned out really good. So Charlotte comes out, the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble, and she is talking about her decision on who to face at WrestleMania, and she says, well, I've held all the gold. I'm a 10-time women's champion. I've beat Becky. I've beat Bayley. But I still want more.
The crowd starts chanting Rhea in NXT.
And Charlotte goes, don't get me wrong. The Queen has love for NXT, and NXT has love for their queen.
This is my brutality!
And Rhea Ripley pops up on Raw, and the fans go bananas.
So up to this point, when she started talking about NXT, I was like leaning back on the couch, like kind of like paying attention, but I was like, I had one ear. I was like,
I'm gonna shoot straight here, buddy. No one's gonna be able to hear you on the pod when you're talking like that.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I was kind of like leaning back, just not really caring that much. And then Rhea's theme song hits, and I was just like, all right, WWE,
show me what you got.
Show me what you got. You've piqued my interest.
So Rhea Ripley comes out and she says, you know what, Charlotte, you're right. You have beat Bayley, and you have beat Becky. But you know who you haven't beat? Me. In fact, I have beaten you. So if you're going to challenge for a championship at WrestleMania, takes off her belt, challenge me.
Goosebumps. I loved everything about this. Legitimizing NXT as that third brand. Because I was saying it actually even before Charlotte came out. I was like, why not challenge for the NXT Women's Championship? Why not? It's a belt. It's the third brand now. Why not?
Well, I mean, Charlotte could challenge for anything. She could challenge for the. She could challenge Brock Lesnar too.
Yeah, I'd be okay
which
with
I'd pay to see.
Yeah, so this makes me happy. And of course, Charlotte does the typical, we're going to have to hold off on that. She gets out the ring, still holding the microphone. And Lawler makes note of it. Oh, what's the queen going to say? Woo! Yeah, that's it.
And then she walks away. We do get confirmation later in the night that Charlotte Flair will be live from Full Sail on Wednesday.
The Queen returns to NXT.
And she will be face-to-face with Rhea Ripley.
It's happening. Maybe. I hope.
It's going to be really funny when Charlotte wins the title.
If that means if that takes her off of Raw and puts her in NXT, I think I'd like Charlotte in NXT.
Yeah, maybe they'd fix her robotic problem.
I am the queen. I am going to win the women's championship.
Whoa.
So, after that, we get Bob. And,
come on, Bob.
And Bob says that he is going to win the match tonight and that he's going to go on and beat Brock Lesnar.
And then I'm going to go on to WrestleMania and I'm going to beat Drew McIntyre. And I will be your WWE champion. Flex. Which his is obviously more impressive than mine.
Just
well, that's a hell of a soundbite.
Just a little bit. Is this Claymore bigger than yours too? Got him. So
I don't know, you'd have to ask Lana.
Woo! So next we get Asuka versus Natalya.
Woo! The Queen of Hearts.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch this match.
Yeah, we fast forwarded through it.
And that's no knock to Natalya.
No.
That's no knock to Asuka.
I just don't care.
I don't care.
It made no sense.
The match is pointless. But, I mean, I guess not. Because
for winning the match, Asuka then grabs the mic and goes into it after a tirade an absolute rant in Japanese. Becky Lynch, I want a rematch.
For the women's championship.
Becky Lynch comes down to the ring and goes...
Wearing the douchiest glasses, by the way.
Yeah. And she goes, sure, why not?
Why not?
I love facing you the first time. There's nothing better than beating your ass once other than beating your ass twice.
She says that beating Asuka damn near gave her superpowers, so why would I not want to dip my toe in that lake again?
Ugh. Okay.
Cool.
So that's happening next week on Raw.
And to prove she has superpowers, Kairi Sane goes for an attack. It's blocked by Becky, and then with one arm sends Kairi flying out of the ring, and then goes, See? Superpowers. Eyes in the back of my head. Cool. Super Becky. I like it. No, I don't. It's cringe.
And then we finally get
the main event. The Monday Night Messiah versus the one and only Ricochet versus Bob.
The almighty Bob.
Yes. So Rollins actually comes out first, and he tells the crowd to give a round of applause. Join him in giving a round of applause for his disciples earlier tonight.
Then he cuts an extremely, extremely cringeworthy promo.
Says,
except, I get it. He says, I will go on to beat Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown.
Because he's done it twice already.
The crowd boos, and he goes, how ironic. 12 months ago, I was here saying that I would go on to WrestleMania to beat Brock Lesnar, and I was welcomed with overjoyous applause. How things change so quickly around here. But that's fine, because I'm not going to win it this time for me. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm going to do it for the greater good. I'm going to do it to better this industry because I will push this industry forward.
Yeah, the
Shots.
The cringiest part of this promo was when he defended the title around the world. And then when he came home, he was expecting a hero's welcome, and instead he got crucified. I get it, because he's the Monday Night Messiah, and he's got disciples, and
he looks how the average white person thinks Jesus looks.
Yeah, so... Get it? Is it cringy yet?
So, look, yeah, I mean, things do change very quickly in the business. Roll with the tide. I mean, let's be honest. There are people who are extremely good at reinventing themselves. You are one of them.
Yeah.
You are one of them, and that promo goes to show that you are one of them. But don't complain about it. Even if it is part of your promo, don't complain.
And, well... And this was kind of, you saw the mental breakdown of Rollins on social media over the past couple months, too, before he became a heel. I mean, and this was no, like, this wasn't a work. This was legitimately Rollins, like, losing his damn mind.
This genuinely is like Seth Rollins thinks that by him being the face of WWE, he can just extinguish the flame that is indie wrestling, all elite wrestling, New Japan, Ring of Honor.
It's funny because at first he was like welcoming the competition, but as like, he got less
butthurt.
He got really like offended. Like he took that really personally. The change in crowd reaction, the way people did not worship him like a god on social media when he attacked Kenny Omega and AEW. It was like he was like, "Am I not the savior? Like, is this not what you all wanted?"
No, Rollins. The reason people liked you is because you're an indie guy.
The reason
because you're Tyler Black.
The reason we like you is because you're amazing at what you do.
You're
not the standard big man.
I hate to say this. We love you because you're not Roman.
Yeah.
You two broke in at the same time, and you represented two entirely different things. Roman Reigns represented the type of guy that is handpicked for the job by someone who goes, ooh, big guy. You represented a guy who worked his entire life in the indies to get where you were.
The ironic part is, though, that Rollins did spend a good portion in FCW than NXT, but still, I get the.
It doesn't make any sense to me. How could you be mad about indie guys wanting to get together and go, you know what? Let's start our own thing.
And I think the thing was he wasn't upset at AEW for being AEW. He was upset that people would even dare to like compare them. Like, how can you say Kenny Omega is better than me? How can you say AEW Dynamite's better than Raw? I'm on Raw. I'm in WWE. I'm the champion, so that means it must mean I'm the best wrestler in the world, right? Like, there's
got to be a way this was a work. There's no way Seth Rollins just
he
lost
is
his
that
mind
much
that
of
hard.
a jerk. And you saw Becky Lynch also go on Twitter and do the same thing.
Well, to be fair, Becky Lynch has a point because AEW's women's division up until last week was absolute trash.
But it was just... Well, no, because remember she went on social media and she said that people were just jealous of their love. And it was just... It's all just cringe, and it's... How can you have your head so far stuck up your own rear? It's just... You really think you really think you can't do anything wrong, right? It's just, I don't get it. You really think you're that, and I'm not going to say you're not that good. You are great at what you do. Both you and Becky Lynch are amazing. But, come on, let's be realistic. If it's Kenny Omega or Seth Rollins, it ain't close. It ain't close. It's Kenny Omega. Hell, if it's Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. Or I was going to say either one of the Young Bucks.
You're not even the best guy in your own company.
You're not.
You're not. You're great.
You're amazing.
You are great.
The future is in your hands.
You are one of the 10 best wrestlers in the world right now.
But don't get ahead of yourself, kid.
But in that list of 10, there's at least 3 guys ahead of you, and their names are Omega, Okada, and Styles.
Yes. So... I really do feel like this whole gimmick is just... It's kind of like what happened with The Rock when he turned heel. Kind of like... And bracing the hate almost, like, because The Rock took offense to that too, and it's kind of like the whole what they did with Roman Reigns. The only difference is they never turned Roman heel.
Yep.
But it's kind of like him going, okay, you don't like me as a face, that's fine. I don't like you. Yep. So I like it.
I'm not a good guy.
I'm not a bad guy. I'm just the guy. Oh, thank God he's not doing that.
Well, if you're the man and you're the guy, I guess that makes me the dude. And this is why I love you, Jon Moxley.
So let's get into this. This match was all about maybe 5 minutes in when out comes the Disciples to attack. And just as you think, oh, Seth Rollins is going to win via shenanigans, here comes Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders.
No, Ivar was still hurt, wasn't he? No, he showed up.
He did. Sorry. It was both Viking Raiders.
I guess I'm paying half attention at this point because I was setting up my laptop.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to pay attention when Raw is that bad. But yeah, so the Viking Raiders come out. I guess Ivar's fine now, and they beat down on the Disciples. And Seth Rollins again is like, "Where y'all going? Again?
Back, I need you.
Again? Happened at the Rumble. It happens again.
Y'all need a plan for this."
Every time Seth Rollins goes for like a big opportunity match, his plan just falls apart. Yeah. Poor guy. But this match was alright. Bobby Lashley looked really good in this match, which is why it hurts to say these words.
Ricochet won.
Ricochet with the 630 to Bob for the victory.
Yikes.
Y'all really don't want us to see Bobby Lashley versus Brock, do you? And not only do you not want us to see that, but you're really pushing this Ricochet versus Brock angle for some God knows why reason. I don't get it.
Ricochet has always been good on the indies at beating behemoths, which is a great thing. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see him versus Brock because, especially at Crown Jewel, you're not putting him over.
Super Showdown.
Same thing.
Same thing. And
especially when they're both in Saudi Arabia every year. I thought Super Showdown was meant to be somewhere,
in Australia?
Somewhere else.
It was in Australia last year.
Take it to Wembley.
Yes, please. But no, you're gonna make these guys. This is why I get so mad about this because, you said he's good at beating big men, but it's not gonna be a good match. Here's what's gonna happen.
It's been terrible.
You're gonna have Ricochet fly all the way out to Saudi Arabia, wait until the very end of the night. Of like a 5-hour pay-per-view, because God knows these specials, these Saudi Arabia specials are long for no reason. And then he's going to get squashed by Brock in all of 10 seconds. Thanks for coming, Ricochet. Here's your check. See you next week.
So I have a really important question for you about Super Showdown. Who's Undertaker facing?
Yeah, we haven't had our legend match announced yet.
Well, now this is the thing. Have you heard the rumor mill swirling?
No.
Someone has reportedly signed on for a single match. Hulk Hogan.
Oh, no.
Reportedly, Hulk Hogan has agreed to do a single match in Saudi Arabia.
Well, they love him over there. The thing with Saudi Arabia loves all those old-time greats. I mean, remember when they wanted, Andre the Giant?
Yeah. They requested Macho Man and they requested Andre the Giant. WWE is like,
they're dead?
They've been dead for years.
So, here's Braun.
Yep. Same thing, right?
Yep. So
that was Raw.
Oh, real quick. After the match, Brock Lesnar attacks. Cool.
So that was Raw.
That was Raw. And it was just as bad as you expected. Actually, it was worse because at least we've been getting 2 hours of okay Raw for the last couple of weeks.
So you know what this means, right?
What?
This means that tonight we've wasted 4 hours on Monday Night Raw. All
Yikes.
for you people. Be grateful.
How could you do this to us?
Did I just turn heel?
You can't attack the fans. They support us.
I don't care about the fans. You're just pandering.
We love you, we promise. Please don't go.
We love you more when you actually watch our videos.
Oh no, but no, I understand.
I must have really offended the Packers fans. The pack still blows, though.
Yeah, they do. Did you see? I'll wait till after the podcast. But God, Packer fans, y'all just salty.
They really are. That's okay though.
But As always, we have to give a match of the night and our MVP. And I actually, since I still have my notes, I can actually talk about
go ahead and run through this because it was tough for me to pick a match of the night.
Well, again, these matches weren't fantastic, but I would again have to give match of the night to the Kevin Owens match.
Okay, I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to take the really unnecessarily short triple threat match. I liked what I saw out of Bobby Lashley.
Bob.
I like what out of Robert Lashley with his porn stash.
If Bobby Lashley could grow facial hair anywhere,
can he grow hair at all?
Anywhere, have we ever seen hair on Bobby Lashley?
I feel like I need to look this up
In
now.
like the 20 years we've seen him compete, because he looks exactly the same that he did like 20 years ago.
Exact same. He still has the same baby face too.
I need to see pictures of this now. Like Bobby Lashley with a mustache.
Yeah, I'd say triple threat match is my match of the night. MVP.
MVP is I'm gonna have to give it to Kevin Owens again. I mean, for the fact that they're making him do all the work and he's popping up 2-3 times a night. He's all over Raw. So, hey man, I like what I'm seeing from you, Kevin Owens. MVP tonight.
My MVP is the only person who made me care about Raw tonight. Rhea Ripley. Congratulations for getting an MVP on Not Your Brand.
And actually, I'm going to steal a line from you because if that's actually the direction I was going to go, but not for MVP, but for Marcus White's Fight Mode Wrestler of the Week, I was going to give
Fight Mode Fighter of the Night.
I was going to give that to Rhea Ripley.
You are taking.
Yeah.
See, you know what? I was going to give one tonight. Fight Mode Fighter of the Night for me, Ruby Riott.
Well, there you go.
So, 2 Fight Mode awards in one night.
Would you look at that?
Fight Mode. Never gets old, does it?
No, but seriously, Rhea, thank you for making me lean up and out of my seat for like a couple minutes and actually care about Raw tonight.
Thank you for waking me from my coma that was Raw.
Yes, so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here.
Because I don't want to do this.
I don't want to spend any more time on Raw.
This is just bad.
Please, Wednesday Night Wars, please be good. I can't.
Let me put it to you this way. I close tomorrow, and I open on Wednesday. So I'm already going to be in a bad mood on Wednesday.
Same.
If I come in on Wednesday, and they give me 4 hours of hot garbage sauce, I'm going to go off. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to go off. And the funny thing is, it's not even their fault. It's the fault that Raw was this bad.
Mm-hmm. SmackDown was awful. Dog food.
Is that going to be your tagline?
Dog food.
At WR Fight Mode Nick. At WR Dog Food Mark.
At Dog Food Mark. Dog food.
I'm going to lose it.
I
will lose my ever-loving mind. I will shoot on everybody.
I'm going to cut a pipe bomb like the likes you've never seen. You thought what I did last week was bad, my like 20-minute rant, like the way I went, I felt bad for you because I went off on you for a little bit. A little bit, yeah. But you thought that was bad.
Oh, you felt bad? I've been worried you hated me all week.
No, you thought the way I tore into him last week and the way I tore into these shows was bad. You give me another bad week of AEW and NXT, I'm going off, man. I'm flipping tables.
If you thought it was bad, me laying into Shotzi Blackheart, just wait. Just wait. Do good, please. Because I don't want to be angry, Nick. I like being happy, Nick.
We really do like wrestling, I promise. It may not seem like it, but we do like professional wrestling.
We like good wrestling.
We like good wrestling.
Where's that been for the last week and a half?
Can't find it in AEW, can't find it in WWE. Do I gotta watch TNA again? I'll go back to Impact if I have to.
I don't think you'll find it there either, buddy.
Unfortunately not.
ROH, I heard, is doing pretty good this time of year.
Yeah, and I don't trust New Japan after Wrestle Kingdom.
It wasn't that bad. Granted, it was 2 nights long and about 4 hours apiece. Yikers. Anyways, we're going to actually sign off now because I'm just tired.
Yeah, so As always, you can find the Wrevolution podcast on the YouTubes, on the Podbean, and on Spotify. Still waiting on that iTunes and Google Play.
Yeah, thanks, iTunes.
Apple, come on, hit a boy up. And
Is it because I'm an Android user?
I think that's it.
Is that why?
And it's because I have an iPhone. Is that why Google Play hasn't hit me back?
We need to choose. And I ain't losing on that one.
Sorry, I love my baby too much. So, and as always, you can follow us. Social media links are down in the description on Twitter, Facebook, and our own personal social medias as well. This guy's also on Instagram.
Fight mode.
Yes, at Fight Mode
WR Fight Mode Nick.
So, as always, follow the official Wrevolution links. So,
You know what?
Ruben?
If any of you have made it to this point in our video, and you're still watching after all the nonsense tonight, leave a comment that says fight mode.
Or dog food.
Either way. And we'll know who actually watched. We'll know who appreciates us. Or hates us for actually sitting through an hour of this.
So, without further ado...
Live from Studio 6 in Sterling Heights, my name is Nick Cavalli.
My name is Marcus White.
And we welcome you to join the Wrevolution. Happy Iowa Caucus Day, everyone.
Have a great night, people.